Hi class, so review tayo ng Module 2, Vector Mechanics. So, dinivide ko siya into major sections na lang, 2D vectors and then si 3D vectors. So, scalars versus vectors. A scalar is a quantity that only have a magnitude. Example, yung temperature, mass, and volume. And then vector, it is a quantity that possesses both magnitude and direction and obeys the parallelogram law for addition. Example of vector is yung forces natin and motion. So kapag forces, meron siyang both magnitude and direction. And force can be defined as push or pull acting upon an object as a result of its interaction with another object. Components of a force, meron siyang point of application and line of action. For example, dito sa figure natin, this 10 kilonewton P is a force. So makikita nyo, meron siyang point of application sa point A and meron siyang line of action, this red dashed line. And then weight is a special type of force since ito yung mass acted upon by the gravitational force. So ang formula ng weight natin is mass times acceleration of gravity. Okay? So ang gravity nga, acceleration gravity in SI is 9.81 meter per second square. In English, it is 32.2 feet per second squared. So, principle of transmissibility of forces. So, sabi nito, a force may be moved anywhere along its line of action without changing its external effects on the body. So, makikita natin sa figure, merong tayong force 20 Newton going to the right. So, ito ang line of action niya. So, ibig sabihin, it is consistently pushing yung object natin towards the right. So, kung ililipat mo siya dito sa point na to, equal to 20 Newton pa din siya and going to the right pa din. So, ang effect pa din niya sa rigid body is the same. It moves the body to the right direction. So, tingnan naman natin itong second image. Principle of transmissibility dito. Basta ipag-act mo yung force along its line of action, the same pa din yung effect niya sa body. So, ibig sabihin kung i-evaluate natin itong wheelbarrow na to, itong bar ng wheelbarrow na to, this bar, if you want to evaluate this, you can easily evaluate this kung lahat ng force mo ilalatag mo sa horizontal bar ng wheelbarrow na to. Ibig sabihin, your P, nandito naman siya, so it will act dito sa point na to. And then si weight, to make it easy, pwede mo siyang ipag-act sa point dito, kung saan nag-intersect siya sa wheelbarrow. And then for point Q, pwede mo siyang i-extend dito and ipag-act siya sa point na ito ng wheelbarrow. That way, nasa isang line na lang sila at pwede mo silang i-analyze ng mas madali. Another way is evaluate them all sa point na to. That way, nandito na lang silang lahat. So, nasa isang point lang sila. Pwede mo silang evaluate easily since nasa isang point na lang. So, what about dito? So, you can easily evaluate kung nasa isang line lang yung mga forces mo. Like for this figure, kung lahat ng force natin ilagay na lang sa line na to, si weight ilagay mo dito. So, pwede. And then for this next figure, it will be easy if i-analyze natin ang system na to in one line. kung saan sila magmi-meet. Sa point na to, si 31,000 Newton, ilagay mo sa point na to. And then, itong W force na to, ilagay mo din siya dito. Ipag-act mo siyang pag-ganon. So, that way, nasa isang line, lang sila, mas madaling i-analyze using the principle of transmissibility. So, next, kapag inclined ang forces, pwede natin i-decompose into its x and y components. So, sa 2D forces muna tayo. So, 2D forces, so they only lie in a plane. So, usually, syempre, x and y plane lang tayo kapag 2D. So, kapag 2D, pwede mong gamitin ang principles na Sokotowa and Pythagorean theorem. So, ito yung isang force natin. Kung inclined siya, meron siyang theta measured from the x-axis. So, since inclined siya, pwede mo yung i-decompose. Meron yung x component, let's call px. And meron yung y component, let's call py. To get px, you can use the right triangle and Sokotowa dito. So, kung ito yung right triangle mo, this one, ito yung right triangle mo. So, this is your theta, ito yung px, and then, dito is your py. Kumbaga, projected siya doon. Diba? So, you can use yung Pythagorean theorem. So, for px, it is px is equal to p cosine theta. And then, kapag py, it is p times sine theta. So, we've shown naman na before paano yan, no? So, to write yung vector rectangular form niya, yung px partner ni I, yung py partner ni j. And then, to get, kung vice versa naman, kunwari, ang given ay px and then py, you can use Pythagorean theorem to get yung resultant na p. And then to get yung theta, you can arctan py over px. So, let's use yung mga formulas natin sa 2D force vector. So, eto yung binigay lang niya. And then, kunin daw natin ang resultant. Let's interpret this. Let's interpret yung example. Ano ibig sabihin na 10I minus 15J kilonewton? So, as we've said, this is in vector rectangular form, meaning if this is your vector resultant, it is equal to this fx partner ni I plus fy partner ni j. So, ibig sabihin, your fx is 10, kahit dahil ito ang partner ni I, and then your fy is 15, negative. Kasama yung negative. Dahil partner siya ni j. So, titingnan mo dito, your fy is 10 kilonewton. Since positive siya, it's going to the right. And then fy is negative 15 kilonewton downward. Kaya dahil negative. And then to get nga yung resultant, we can do Pythagorean sa dalawa. So, f is equal to square root ng 10 plus squared ng negative 15 squared. So, this will be your value of f, yung resultant. And then, to get theta, it is arctangent fy over fx. So, your fy is negative 15 over your denominator is fx. So, that's positive 10. So, computing that, baba ko muna, no? square root 10 squared plus squared, saan yung comma? Negative 15 squared. This is 18.028 kilonewton. And arctan is wala siyang division. Nasaan na ako? Negative 15 divided by 10.
What pet?
Shit. Arctangent. So, computing F is equal to 18.028 kilonewton and your data is negative 56.31. So, kung i-graph mo yun, this is 18.02 kilonewton and your data is negative 56.31 kasi it's counterclockwise, kaya negative. Counterclockwise means negative. So, your data is 56.31 degrees. So, next, dito naman, the force is 700 pounds I, 1500 pounds J applied to a bolt A. Determine the magnitude of the force and the angle U it forms with the horizontal. So, sabi niya, magnitude of the force, meaning the resultant, and the angle it forms from the horizontal, so from the x-axis. So, what is the given? It is 75, that is, 700, that is fx, 700 pounds, since partner niya si I, and then 15 is partner kay J, so that's fy, so 15 pounds siya. So, let's get the resultant, F. So, equal siya sa square root ng 700 squared plus 1500 squared. So, yun ang resultant. And then, for theta, it is arctangent Fy, which is 1500 over 700. And then, ang ating theta, it's arctan 1500 divided by 700. It is 64.983 degrees. So, we got the same dito and same dito. So, kung ipa-plot mo yan sa, sa graph, i-graph mo siya, positive ang fx, so going to the right, and then fy is also positive, so upward, So, your F is somewhere between ng dalawa. So, nandito yung F. And your theta measured from the horizontal is ito, yung 64.98. Ganyan yung graph niya. This is your Fy, this is Fx. Next, a force of 800 Newton, so resultant siya, no, is exerted on a bolt A, shown in the figure. Determine the horizontal and vertical components of the force. So, ito, baliktad naman. We are given yung resultant and its direction. So, to get the components, Fx and Fy, pag Fx, it's 800 times cosine ng angle, which is 35. And then to get Fy, it's the force resultant times cosine the angle. So this is equal to cosine. So, ito yung, so these are the components ng 800 Newton with an angle of 35 degrees from the negative x-axis. So, ito si Fy, yung 458, and then this is, ano ang tawag dito? Fx. Okay. And then, paano mo i-write in rectangular form? Steady, ito si F equal to Fx ay ito. So, 655.32 I, since I ang partner ng Fx. And then, plus yung Fy na 458.86 J. Then, anong unit nila? They are in Newton. So, last 2D vector example. A man pulls a force of 300 Newton. Pulls, so pag ganyan yung so pull daw, so pag ganyan ang force natin yan. So 300 Newton ang F natin, resultant siya. As shown in the figure, what are the horizontal and vertical components of the force exerted by the rope at point A? So, hinihingi lang yung horizontal and vertical. Ito na yan. So, Fx and Fy ulit. So, to get that, Fx, cosine tayo ng force, 300 cosine ng angle. Wala tayong angle. So, hindi given ang angle, pero given yung dimensions. So, using that, pwede natin kunin ang angle. So, paano kukunin si angle? Dito natin ilagay sa gilid. So, katawat pa din yan. That is tangent theta equal to opposite over hypotenuse. If this is your theta, ano ang opposite side ng theta? It is this one. So, opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent pala. So, kung ito yung theta, anong adjacent na side sa kanya? So, ito, 8. So, opposite, and then ito yung adjacent. So, i-arctan natin yan to get theta, tangent negative 1, 6 over 8. So, theta is equal to theta. So, So, that's our theta. Ito yung gagamitin natin sa doon. So, 36.87. That's fx. For fy, it is 300 sine naman pag fy. So, sine 36.87. How much is our fx and fy? So, it's 300 times cosine 36.87. Our fx is 18.3435 Newton. And then fy is 300 sine 36.87. So that's, ano na ba ito? 31 point, wait lang. That's 300 times sine 36.87. It's 180. So, so 180. So, kung i-rectangular form natin yan, your f, the resultant is fx na 240 partner ng I plus fy na 180 j. So, in Newton sila.